A long time ago, Europeans left their countries to explore the world. Upon finding those countries, they found new people with different skin pigmentations and eye shapes. Not only that, but also new resources that they took by force. History tends to repeat itself, and since we're all humans, we unknowingly repeat the same actions. Therefore, just as you, not you, your ancestors, but if you take pride in your history and the things you inherited, then you must also take the good with the bad, went to someone else's land, used their resources, damaging things along the way, and now the same is being done to you. Should you be penalized for what your ancestors did? No. Then why, when a person who looks a certain way commits a crime, does the whole group fall into the category of the usual suspects? Even if 99% of the lookalikes do it, the 1% must be treated with respect. And if you can't take that risk, then there's nothing wrong going on. Since the other race is simply returning the actions that the people who look like you did to them. When the immigrants had and still have the resources, you didn't mind taking them from them. However, now that they have come to take your resources, you complain. When you say things like the Native American Indians were killing each other in droves, Africans were selling off Africans, therefore, they've no ground to stand on when criticizing Europeans for stealing the American land and stealing and enslaving black people, why don't you apply that same logic to yourselves? Immigrants commit crimes, but so do you. A native does something, he's a monster, be careful out there, what's wrong with this world? An outsider does the same thing, get rid of all of them. Burn the whole race. Like, what? The problem isn't the crime, but your own hearts. Keep complaining all you want, keep saying that the outsiders are the problem. Your hypocrisy will come back to bite you either way. However, all that matters are appearances, right? As long as your race isn't caught on camera doing the same things, you can keep pushing your narrative. However, what's done in the dark will come to light. You want this to end? Give back the resources to each specific country, even the things built on them. Buildings, cars, rings. Anything and everything. We'll do a DNA test, and everyone goes back to their original place. The US will cease to exist since almost everyone is of European descent. Otherwise, when you take the cobalt that you use to power your precious technology, you better believe some Congolese people are coming to your country attached to it. Go back to my country? Give me back my country, then. Not to mention that I'm of European and Portuguese descent. Look up Dom Francisco de Almeida, the first governor and viceroy of the Portuguese state of India. Stop using what's mine, and I'll stop using what's yours. But we won't do that, will we? The cat is out of the bag, we've formed relationships, we appreciate each other's cultures and the way we look. I'm just tired of this racist, hypocritical bullcrap. Do you know when racism should have ended? When the first white man got the first black slave woman pregnant, since I'm pretty sure that men and women in general, not just the whites, have had sex with animals and some of those animals were monkeys, 9 months later nothing happened. However, with these so-called monkeys, a hybrid was born. Why was that? Racism, immigration, and a lack of assimilation aren't the problem, sin is. Our own immorality is the sole reason why we have all these issues. Do you really think that if everyone respected and loved each other, we'd be in the state that we are now? The solution is not to get rid of them. That's just masking the problem. We cannot behave like we're currently behaving when we are challenged. Adam and Eve thought they were good until they were tempted. You may think you're smarter, wiser, more loving, and more civilized, but look at how you're acting as soon as you're tempted to do evil. You don't want to keep Europe European with Christian values, you want to keep it white. Being a Christian should override your race, and don't forget that part of the reason why Sodom and Gomorrah were destroyed was because they weren't welcome or hospitable enough to strangers. Don't make the same mistake. What's the solution, then? Reach out to those communities. Talk to them like you would with the people you're familiar with. Other races can tell when you're not being your authentic self because you think the person might get offended and lash out. Every type of person does that.